We are living in a world where companies invest billions of dollars to create technology that has one purpose: grab your attention. If you're not careful, you may end up spending the rest of your life making money for these companies and rotting your brain at the same time. For the past few years, I've been practicing mindfulness so that I can stay present and make sure I'm grounded in reality to experience every ounce of pain and pleasure in my life. In this video, I'll tell you how 172 hours of mindfulness meditation has changed my life. A Buddhist monk compares mindfulness to the taming of a wild elephant. Initially, when the elephant's, caught and tied to the post, it's angry, so it's screaming and trampling, trying to break free. After a while, it learns that there's no point of trying to break free. It's just a waste of energy. So it calms down. At this point, you can feed it and train it and do useful work with it. In this example, your mind is the elephant and your breath is the post that it's tied to. On the days that I don't meditate, there's a noticeable difference in the state of my mind. So it's more energetic and chaotic, kind of like the elephant. And when I try to do work for my courses or even YouTube, I don't really care enough to spend much time on it. I'd rather be watching YouTube. I also give up more easily on cognitive tasks that demand, deep work where I need to sit down and really think about something. Now, I'm not saying that meditation will give you a massive boost in motivation and fix all your problems. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that it'll give you some clarity. When I get my 20 minutes in the morning, the immediate result is just mental clarity. And the pain of sitting through and acknowledging my thoughts and bringing my attention back to my breath whenever I get distracted is just, my mind is very still. And after I'm done, it's primed to focus on any particular task, like make this video, or do my homework, or even work out. I'm no psychologist, but just based on experience, I think the more stimulating a task is, the easier it is to focus on, generally speaking. So for example, you're watching this video, I'm showing you clips, I'm talking to you, you can see my face, hopefully it's easy for you to keep your attention on me. Now, imagine just sitting down quietly. The world is silent, you can't hear anything, you can't see anything. The only thing you can feel is your breath, which initially barely feels like anything, but that's all you have to focus on. Being able to focus in such a low stimulus environment has made me more perceptive and observant. In freshman year, I remember, I was on the bus and it was fall, so I was looking out the window and I saw a bright red bush just in the middle of a bunch of green ones. And I remembered this pretty clearly, and I remember just staring out the window like a little kid, and it brought me so much joy. When you become more mindful, it's little things like these just bring you so much joy, like nature in general. I used to walk around looking down at the floor because I didn't think the things around me were worth looking at. It sounds insane to me even as I say it right now, but that's the truth. Now I'm always looking around because I find things cool. Maybe it wasn't just mindfulness, other things too, but I think mindfulness was one of the biggest contributors to me being more open to the world, open to receiving inputs from the world, if that makes sense. And the things that I once took for granted are way more interesting and fascinating to me. Right before my Power Day interview for a summer internship, my heart rate was like double my resting heart rate. And I even took a picture of my watch because it felt like my heart was going to jump out of my chest. Like, that's how crazy it was, even though I was just sitting down. And I remember I did a mindfulness practice. It was so hard because every cell in my body was telling me to think about the interview, not my breath. Now, at this point, it's almost instinctual for me to notice my breath whenever I'm nervous. And especially when there's something at stake, well, in this case, it was my future. But this doesn't cause the nerves to disappear, at least for me. But what it does do is it helps me think more clearly and redirect the anxiety into sharpening my thinking rather than becoming paralyzed under pressure. So even before exams, I have some crazy exam anxiety. So this habit transformed the way I respond to stress. There are monks who meditate for tens of thousands of hours over their lifetimes, and their brain waves are totally different from ours. They constantly produce gamma waves, which are associated with high levels of alertness, concentration, and problem solving. Our brains produce these waves for maybe a few seconds when we solve a difficult problem or bite into an apple. I haven't even scraped the surface of this practice, but even a novice like me who's only spent 20 minutes a day was able to see significant results. If you're still on the fence about trying mindfulness meditation, I suggest just giving it 5 minutes a day right after you wake up. I promise you will see a difference. And besides, what's there to lose?